Hey, what is going on, everybody? This is Gainz Gaming. We are at the end of our KVK. You can see right here, KVK is over. Map is closing in 24 hours here. So today we are going to be going over the full KVK, my breakdown of all my stats, and just explaining what happened in this KVK. If you guys did not see any of my live streams, I did stream basically all of Kingsland in the 11 hours of glory that we had in Kingsland. So if you guys missed that live stream, make sure you guys check that out on my page here. But like I said, today we will talk about the full KVK. Once again, big congratulations to our enemies with 307 and company taking the win this KVK. Great opponents. One of the best KVKs I've fought so far in my time in Rise of Kingdoms. But today I wanted to just showcase my stats, what exactly happened in this KVK with my account and how we progressed with kill points, deads, and everything like that. So without further ado, I'll first show you guys what my kill points look like now. I know I was very adamant about hitting 3 billion kill points as KVK, but unfortunately, as you just heard, we only lasted 11 hours in Kingsland, and 3 of those hours was really just going into our downtime and then eventually, retreating out of Kingsland. And so we didn't have a ton of fighting. I was expecting, days and days of Kingsland and, like an insane battle in Kingsland, but we just did not get that. And as everyone knows, I got memed about this all the time, but I was on vacation during the Zone 5 fight, so I wasn't able to fight a whole lot then. I did rack about 10 million, maybe 9 to 10 million kills in that Zone 5 fight against Water Camp, but we did not get a ton of kills in that fighting, and so most of my fighting and most of my kills came from the Zone 6 pass fighting and from Kingsland. And so these were my final kill points and my final power. However, we will be getting our Hall of Heroes back. I did finish with just over 1.4 million troops. Most of it being T5. I do have about 400,000 T4 deads, and then, just some extra stuff here from filling stuff. But most of my deads were T5 in this KVK, and so we did finish with just over 1.4 million. The total amount that I had at the end of our tracking was about 1.1 million. I believe it was 1,087,000 troops. And so today we are going to be talking about, like I said, all my stats here, but these are the troops I will be getting back. Like you can see here, majority of it being T5. So we will be getting back roughly about 5 million power, at least 5 million power back in troops that come back. Very thankful that we get 50% troops back in the Hall of Heroes now. That is really nice. So next KVK I'll most likely be sitting around 80 million power. It will most likely drop even more next KVK because this last KVK I came in at just under 80 million power. I believe I was at 78 million power at the beginning of KVK. As you can see here, this was my original power. I was at 78,684,000 power going into KVK. I did train about 4 million power in pre-KVK. So at the beginning of KVK, I was at 74,723,000 power. And then at the beginning of KVK, as you can see here, I was at 78.6 million power. And at the beginning of KVK, I had 2.28 billion kill points. So we did gain just under 600 million kill points during this KVK, which is really nice. Very happy about that. But like I said, my main goal was hitting 3 billion. But unfortunately, due to the lack of fighting that we had, we did fall just short of that goal. But we will most likely hit that very soon in our next KVK whenever that happens. The next thing I want to take a look at is just the breakdown of kill points. So these are the kill points at the end of KVK. And then once again, I will toss up the original. So on the left here, these were my first stats at the beginning of KVK. And then on the right, these are my current stats. So you can see with T5 kills, I did gain just about 20 million T5 kills. We also gained about 20 million T4 kills, little bit of T3 kills, a little bit of T2 kills, and then some T1 kills as well when we were hitting some people in the Zone 5 with 1188. A lot of people were in there, barbing and being AFK, and so I was clearing nodes out, so I was able to run through them a lot faster. So we did pick up some T1 kills from those farms, but we did get a lot of T5 and a lot of T4 kills in this KVK. You can see the kill points from T5 was just about 400 million, about 397 million kill points from T5 troops. So that is really good. We are closing in on 100 million T5 kills. So hopefully in our next KVK, we'll be able to hit that and also hit our 3 billion kill point number. And then we did talk about the Hall of Heroes with just over 1.4 million dead. So my dead is now at 13.4 million dead troops. This is mostly T5. I do mostly kill off T5 in KVK. And then my original deads right up here, you can see, if I pull this down here, you can see this matches up with our Hall of Heroes of 1.4 million dead troops. throughout this KVK. And like you saw in the Hall of Heroes, most of this being T5, just about 400,000 were T4, so over 1 million T5 dead in this KVK. And then we can also take a look at resources gathered as well, so you guys can see how many resources I gathered. This is a screenshot from my last live stream before the fighting started, and so you can just ignore this part over on the left here. But we did gather just under 1 billion resources. We didn't do any resource assistance, but then we also had about 7,000 help times throughout this KVK as well. That's just another interesting thing that we can also point out in this video here. And the next thing I want to talk about here is commanders, and basically pointing out which commanders did the best in the open field for me throughout the KVK. So at the beginning of KVK, I went into each individual commander and I noted how many kills each commander had so that we can compare the commanders from before and after KVK, and we can kind of see how many kills each commander contributed to my overall success in this KVK. So first of all, we can start with Boudica here. We can see after KVK, you can see she has 7,912,000 kills. And then if we compare that to the beginning of KVK, we can see we had 5,038,000 kills. So Boudica landed just under 3 million kills in this KVK. Next up here, we have Alexander Nevsky. This one I was really excited to see. So post KVK, we are at 16,787,000 kills. And as opposed to the beginning of KVK at 7,818,000 kills. So Nevsky more than doubled his total kills during this KVK, amassing almost 9 million kills throughout this KVK, which is absolutely insane. Very, very happy with Nevsky's performance, which I also paired with Joan Prime, which we'll get to here soon. But this was my first time ever using Joan Prime in KVK, and so we will get to that here in a minute. But we also use Mehmed with Nevsky. So next we're going to take a look at Mehmed. So we're going to scroll down here a little bit. So we're going to find Mehmed, and we're going to see how many kills Mehmed got in the Zone 5 fight. That was the only time I used Mehmed in this KVK. And so if we pull up Mehmed here, we can see that he had 7,607,000 kills at the beginning of KVK, and then after the Zone 6 fight, he had 8,573,000 kills. So just under 1 million kills from Mehmed, so not a whole lot. But then if we compare it to Joan Prime, which I used in the Zone 6 and Zone 7 fight, we can take a look at Joan Prime and see how many kills she got throughout those two zones, which I think you guys will be pretty shocked with how many kills she got. So in that time span of just the Zone 6 fight of that pass, so not a whole lot of killing there, but in Kingsland, she had just under 8 million kills. And I can pull up here my Joan Prime, and you can see she had 0 kills at the beginning of this KVK because I had not even expertised her yet. But now she is expertised. I used her throughout KVK in Kingsland mostly, and she amassed almost 8 million kills in Kingsland, which is just absolutely insane. Very happy with my Joan investment. She was 100% worth it. Just an absolutely insane commander. Next year, we will go to the OG Scipio. Still, in my opinion, probably the best open field commander in the game. He has 15,214,000 kills. And then we can take a look at the beginning of KVK. He had 8,376,000 kills. So Scipio nearly doubled his kills as well, which is absolutely phenomenal. I was using Scipio with Herald. So next we'll be looking at Herald and seeing how many kills Herald got as well, being the secondary for Scipio. So here we have Herald. We are at 20,651,000 kills. If we take a look at the beginning of KVK, he had 14,094,000 kills. So over 6 million kills from Herald, which is very good. I was using Scipio and Herald for city popping, mainly because Herald has instant proc damage, similar to Alexander the Great, who I used to pair with Herald, but I was using Scipio Herald this KVK, and he did very good as a secondary to Scipio, because he does a little more damage than Alex, and he also punishes you if you decide to swarm the Scipio. Alright, next year we have Guan Yu, the OG Guan Yu, 15,408,000 kills for Guan. Then we take a look at pre-KVK, 13,348,000 kills. So actually not that great from Guan, which actually really shocked me because I was really expecting Guan to be very good in the open field this KVK, but he was definitely overshadowed by Scipio and Herald, and especially with Nevsky and Joan. So I was using Guan Yu with Alex, which as we know is a pretty decent march, but not the best march. Guan Yu Scipio is definitely the best infantry march you can use. But since I was trying to use 2 infantry marches, I split them up and I used Guan Yu Alex, and Scipio Herald. So we'll take a look at Alexander the Great and see how many kills Alexander the Great got. If Guan got just over 2 million kills, we can take a look here at what Alexander the Great got. So we can take a look. He has 43,222,000 kills, which is very, very good. I'm always shocked to see how many kills Alexander the Great has because, you know, I used him in KVK 2 and 3, but Alexander the Great also only got 2 million kills. So is this really kind of the showing that Alexander the Great and Guan are kind of, you know, not dead, but just not really the best open field marches anymore for infantry? And this is kind of eye-opening to me on how little kills they're actually doing. Although, one thing that you're not seeing with these stats is that Guan Yu is silencing your enemy, which is huge in the open field. It's really the only reason why people still use him. And Alexander the Great is giving your other marches shields. And so those are two things that you don't really see from these stats alone that are also going on in the open field. But from a kill stance alone, Guan Yu and Alex are not really all that great. But I am really excited to see Alexander the Great and his new museum buff come into the game. I believe he'll be getting 10% defense and then also some damage factor reduction, I believe. So that will be really, really nice to put onto Alexander the Great's kit and make him a little bit better in the open field. Next here we have YSG. I was using YSG with Boudica, and so YSG has 33,725,000 kills. Then we take a look at pre-KVK. He had 30,781,000 kills. So not a whole lot of kills from YSG. However, you can take a look at the barbarian kills. We did get just under 200 million barbarian kills in this KVK. I did do a little bit of chaining, mostly in zone 4 before the fighting started. After the fighting started, I really didn't have the time to do a lot of chaining, especially when I was on vacation. You know, the zone 5 fight was going on. I wasn't chaining. I was barely even logging on. And then we didn't really have a ton of downtime. But when we did have downtime, I tried to do some chaining. But I definitely wasn't that productive with it. But we also have our Minamoto and our Richard to take a look at here as well, to take a look at the barbarian kills. But first, I want to take a look at Charles Martel, mainly because I used Charles Martel as my garrison when I took those city rallies. If you guys remember seeing that video, make sure you guys check it out if you haven't yet. But I did take a couple city rallies, and so not a whole lot of kills here either. So Charles Martel gained just over 350,000 kills from those multiple city rallies that I took, which is really, really bad. It's kind of a testament to how bad Charles Martel really is in 2023. I know Chiscool just made a video on how he isn't meta, and he really isn't. I mean, he's decent in the garrison if you're in KVK 1 or 2 or 3, but I mean, in Season of Conquest, he's just not a good commander. Especially as a garrison. If you aren't a garrison captain, if you aren't a whale, if you don't have insane gear, you should not be taking city rallies. The only reason why I took city rallies is because I'm a content creator and I wanted to make content. I knew I wasn't going to be able to trade very well because, I mean, the gear I was using, not the greatest. I mean, this is my top set of infantry gear, which, I mean, it's pretty good, but it's not meta by any means. It's very, very far from it. That's why I'm not a rally. I'm not a garrison. I play open field because I have just decent gear. And the only reason why I took that rally was because it was not full and because I was in good positioning. And plus I wanted the content, so I took the rally, you know. I wasn't going to let myself get zeroed for it, but I still, you know, traded pretty decent with Charles Martel. But obviously if I was using, you know, like YSS or Zeno or Flavius, like those would be really, really good options. But using Charles Martel, he just isn't really that great anymore. So that's one thing that's pretty eye-opening about him. But the other thing I want to take a look at was Richard for AoE when I was hitting barbarians. So we can take a look here. I did get a screenshot of his original barbarian kills. So we can take a look here. So originally I had 540 million barbarian kills. After KVK, 677 million barbarian kills. So just over 235 million barbarian kills, which is pretty good. I mean, that was basically 1/3 of the total amount of barbarian kills that I have total on Richard. So like I said, I didn't barb chain a ton, but I did try to get as much as I could. I definitely could have done better. Hopefully in my next KVK, I'll have a little more time to do that because the rewards are just absolutely insane for barb chaining. And on top of that, I did do a lot of rallying. I did do a lot of barbarian forts with Minamoto. And so we'll take a look at Minamoto here as well, because I've been using Minamoto for Barbarian Forts. So he has 1.3 billion Barbarian kills, which is really, really crazy. I know some people have a lot more than that, but we can take a look at Mina here. We can see he gained about 60 million Barbarian kills from just rallying Barbarian Forts. And then I was also using Nevsky. I was using Minamoto Nevsky for Barbarian Forts. So let's actually take a look at Nevsky as well, because I really didn't use Nevsky a whole lot for Barbarians. So 264 million Barbarian kills. Let's see what he had at the beginning of KVK. We can see he had 205 million. So he gained about 60 million Barbarian kills as well, from literally just Barbarian Forts alone. So that is also pretty crazy as well. We can take a look here at the honor roll as well. So individually, I did not rank in the top 1,000 just because, you know, we left Lost Kingdom pretty early. So I finished with 103,000 honor. I did not push honor really at all, you know, besides like barb chaining. So these were the top ranks for the individual honor. Like I said, did not push at all. Definitely don't have the AP to do so. Then coalition, we can see we finished in 5th. We did get coalition rewards here as well. I can show you guys what I got from that. I did favorite them. So we did get camp rank 4. So we did get some rewards from that with the wind camp. So we just finished with 27 million points. Earth camp finished with 3rd, Camp Greenwood in 2nd, and fire camp in 1st by quite a long shot with 1307. And then coalition, we finished rank 5. So we did get 2 gold heads from that, which is great. And then we can see the occupation rewards. So 1307 did take 1st place with that. They did finish with the Zig. 1664 finished with 2nd, and then 1188 in 3rd. So they will get the Autark rewards for this, which honestly, not the greatest rewards. We can see here they do get a formation choice chest, which is great. But you know, the Autark rewards are kind of a joke in my opinion. If we take a look at the shop here, like the inscription shop, it would make sense if they got, you know, more than, like if they got to choose an Autark limited and non-limited, that'd be a lot better. But they are only able to buy one from either the limited or the non-limited, which kind of sucks. But so they're probably all going to get the wedge with the 5% boost to skill damage. And when dealing direct damage, damage is boosted by 10% if only one target is hit, otherwise boosted 2% if it's AoE. So this is a really good one for the wedge formation. Hopefully I'll be able to get that eventually. But that's probably what they're all going to get from the Autark limited rewards. And then one last thing I wanted to take a look at here is the total KVK stats provided from our kingdom. And just showing you guys where I ranked with all that from the end of our contribution. And so if we take a look right here, you can see I was ranked 300 in power. This is in power that it's ranked in, if you can see right here. And so I was 74,723,000,000 power at the beginning of KVK. And these are all my individual rankings here. And so you can also see my end power was 69,733,000,000 at the end of KVK. And then these were my initial stats. And then as we go over this way, we can see this blue section here is the gained throughout KVK. So we can see deads gained 1,087,000. T4 kills was 12.2 million. T5 kills at 17.5 million. Total kills 29.6 million at the end of the Kingsland fighting. And then kill points gained throughout that time was 471 million. T5 dead 880,000, and then T4 dead 206,000. As we keep going here, we can take a look at the total points that I got in contribution, which for us was just under 50 million contribution points, mostly from kill points and then a little bit in dead as well. And then as we keep on going over this way, you can see this is the percentage of the amount of points met. And so if we go back down to my name here, we can see that I got 229% of my total points of my, you know, like contribution limit. So basically 100% is my requirements for KVK. So I more than doubled my requirements. The kill percentage, I finished with 473% of my total kills needed. And then 128.9% of my total deads required. You can see I am a migrant here. This is my first KVK in 1079. And then you can see no punishment is needed because I met all my requirements. We do have some people that did not meet the requirements, and so we are doing a pretty big drop in power. You can see like minus 20 million power, minus 10 million power, 15, and so on. So you can see like a lot of these players that did not meet the requirements are required to drop power in order for us to drop out of Imperium and stay out of Imperium for our next KVK. If you guys enjoyed this video, please drop a like and subscribe. Let me know down below what you guys thought about the KVK, and also let me know what kind of videos you guys want to see here in the future, because I'm always looking for more input on what kind of videos you guys want to see on this channel. So once again, thank you guys for watching this video. Please drop a like and subscribe, because this video took a long time to record and edit. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Have a great rest of your day.